Having been involved in the Gelbvieh breed since 1977 in one way or another, I guess the number one thing is the female. The female of the Gelbvieh is so good. We have to continue to refine that female and make her as good as she can be. As long as they keep her moderate and sound with a good teat and udder development, I think they're the female of the future.
Smart, reliable, and profitable are words that can be used to describe the Gelbvieh and Balancer cow. Fertility, longevity, moderate mature size, and quiet disposition are traits that have given this breed its maternal reputation. In this episode, we're going to explore how the Gelbvieh and Balancer cow is the ultimate replacement female, and take a look at the DNA technology available to select for those females with a maternal edge on productivity. You're watching The American Rancher. Stay with us.
If you want increased fertility in your herd and more pounds at weaning, Judd Ranch Genetics can help you achieve your goals. Family owned and family run, Judd Ranch offers you 3 breeds: Gelbvieh, Balancer, and Red Angus. Judd Ranch females and bulls give you the complete package: calving ease, growth, carcass, and fertility. Judd Ranch is also the Gelbvieh breed's most honored Dam of Merit program. 118 females sell Saturday, October 8th in Judd Ranch's 26th annual Cow Power Female Sale at the ranch in Pomona, Kansas.
Listed as one of the top 100 genetic providers by Beef Magazine, Cedar Top Ranch has a strong history of supplying ranchers with productive cows that raise efficient, sale-topping calves. If you want cattle that thrive in the hardy, rugged conditions of the Nebraska Sandhills, then attend Cedar Top Ranch's annual production sale on the 3rd Tuesday of February. Cedar Top Ranch offers all 2-year-old bulls that were developed on grass to ensure soundness and longevity. For cattle that work for you, call 308-530-3900.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. The Gelbvieh cow has long been known for its maternal strengths. Since the 1970s, cattle producers have been successfully utilizing these early maturing, fertile, and moderate-sized females. Listen to these commercial producers share how the Gelbvieh and Balancer cow has positively impacted their herd.
I travel the United States visiting commercial producers, and they ask me why should I breed Gelbvieh and Balancer genetics. My answer to them is maternal profitability. There's no other beef breed in the United States that can offer the maternal profitability, maternal efficiency that the Gelbvieh and Balancer cow can.
We like the Gelbvieh primarily for their meat and their milk and their disposition.
The mothering ability and just the docile type mothers are good. We like those really well. And we've used Angus, and some of those get a little hot.
And the fertility on the Gelbvieh, it seems to be real good.
Yeah.
And we also select for it by running one heat cycle on breeding the heifers and 2 heat cycles on the cows. And if they don't breed, they're gone, and it has really increased our fertility on the cows, and the Gelbvieh has helped that.
We get about 95% breed up on the cows. It's a good breed up on there.
95 to 97 in 2 heat cycles.
You know, there's no question the Gelbvieh are mama cows. And I don't just mean mama cows in terms of their milkability, but they absolutely instinctively compared to some of the other breeds. You know, this is coyote country right through here, and you know, these cows are going to get that calf up and get it going, and they're going to protect that calf early on. The thing that's interesting to me about the Gelbvieh cattle is that, you know, every year is not a perfect year. We have years where we have droughts, we have years where we have extended blizzards, and we have noticed over time that the Gelbvieh cattle, more than any of the breeds that we work with, will maintain their reproductive status when challenged environmentally better than any breed we have. At the end of the day, I'm absolutely convinced that a Gelbvieh cow is going to maintain the same level of fertility as the rest of the herd at a full body condition score less than other breeds that we've worked with. And that in and of itself translates not only to her longevity, but also to her economic efficiency in times when we don't perhaps have the ideal inputs, but we don't lose animals falling out of the system. Gelbvieh's the mother breed, no question about it.
Why we choose balancers is cow efficiency. I mean, that's number one. Low maintenance, whether it's from the work end of it or the feed end of it, they're really efficient. And fertility is just, I can go on and on about the balancer female, but that's where it's at. But you got the ideal size female that gets it done in the feedlot also.
I think the Gelbvieh's done worlds of difference for Spade's herd and getting a more reproductive, efficient cow that can make a living in West Texas. We raise our own cows, raise our own heifers for replacements. So not only are we looking at the end product as far as carcass feedlot performance, we also need some maternal characteristics in there, which I feel like Gelbvieh has a lot to offer in that respect. Gelbvieh cattle are early maturing. They make good mothers. Again, in this part of the world, it seems like they're able to get out and hustle, and again, they're pretty self-sufficient type animals. So they just complemented our system both on a maternal side and on a feedlot performance finishing side.
Some of the ranches that I've been buying the bulls for are on a crossbreeding program of where they add Sem-Angus bulls to balancer females and balancer bulls on Sem-Angus females. I've tried to buy these bulls as moderate and as sound as I can, and if you'll go look at those females in production, you'll see 1,100 pound cows weaning 650 pound calves, which I think is fantastic. The fact that you can get a blend of Angus or Red Angus with a high quality Gelbvieh bull, that 50-50 steer calf or heifer calf not only work in the feedlot, but also are proving out to be fantastic females. They're breeding back, the fertility is very good.
Fertility in Gelbvieh is one of the good strengths of that breed. I like the disposition of them. It's huge for me. I think with a good disposition, you can raise a calf, you can have better feed efficiency, and the balancer end is with any of them, but I can choose through my breeder balancer bulls with low birth weight, which is extremely important to me too. I like to see that calf get up off the ground when it's cold, especially when there's limited help around me. So it's the mother's job to do it, and I'll assist her if I have to. But a good mother, a good gentle mother is worth a lot.
As we continue to see increases in land prices and also increases in rental ground, it's more important now than ever that we select for moderate mature cow size and efficient females. According to the Meat Animal Research Center in Clay Center, Nebraska, they rank Gelbvieh as the most moderate mature cow size of all the beef breeds.
The balancer female, probably the most obvious, the quickest advantage was the hardiness and able to continue to milk in our environment and still raise a good solid calf. But the longevity of the balancer female is really over a straight purebred British. You can see so much more. You get another year or two out of her, and then the fertility of the balancer female was something else that really caught our attention right from the get-go.
Our biggest change with using the Gelbvieh balancers is, I really believe, has been on our reproduction. Gelbvieh's an earlier maturing animal, so the reproduction efficiency I really like. I like the milking ability and just the early breed back.
The Gelbvieh female is still a rock star. She does just a great job of producing. I think a commercial man, if he was to try them, he'd be pleasantly surprised at what a balancer bull or a Gelbvieh bull would do on his crossbred cows or his straight Angus or Red Angus cows. And he would be very happy with the results when it come time to not only merchandising those steer calves, but also keeping those replacement females. I think he will be very happy with the end product.
We'll be right back with more on The American Rancher.
For the past decade, Seacross Cattle Company has produced high-quality Gelbvieh, Balancer, and Angus genetics. We will again be offering high marbling and high carcass cattle at our 10th annual Fall Bull and Female Sale Saturday, November 12th at 12:30 p.m. at the ranch in Biscoe, North Carolina. We'll be selling 50 quality bulls and buyer's choice of 50 exceptional bred heifers. Visit our website at seacrosscattle.com to request a catalog. Seacross Cattle, your source for performance, carcass, and eye appeal.
Our goal here at Swanson Cattle Company is to raise very functional livestock that will work in any breeding situation. I'll take a lot of them and feed it at feed yards. I think the last 3 years, them cattle graded from 92% choice in 13, 98 in 14, and this year we had a pen of heifers that graded 100% choice. We welcome people to call us at any time and come see us. We'd be glad to show you our cattle about any time.
DNA technology is rapidly becoming an indispensable selection tool when purchasing bulls and selecting replacement heifers. DNA tests help seed stock and commercial producers select cattle that will deliver more predictable progeny, which allows for faster genetic improvement to be made within the herd. Working with the renowned DNA technology company GeneSeek, a Neogen company, the American Gelbvieh Association offers technology to the beef industry that acts as a vital tool in the selection of high-quality animals.
The maternal edge DNA panel that we offer here at the AGA is intended to be used by commercial producers as a culling tool to help them decide whether or not they'll keep certain replacement heifers. The 6 traits included in the maternal edge DNA panel are calving ease, maternal calving ease, weaning weight, yield grade, marbling, and carcass weight.
I think on the overall scheme, we're still very early in the development of DNA and how it's used and what we know. And so we use it in twofold. We use it on the seed stock side to kind of help with genomically enhanced DPDs. And then we also have a pretty good lineup, if you will, on the commercial side. And that's kind of done on a different scale, but it's basically the same way to, overall goal is to get information so people can make a better decision on what animals they're keeping and how they are, how stratifying the animals they do keep, as well as how to market the ones they're going to get rid of.
The reason any kind of genomic testing is worth it when you're trying to decide what animals to cull and what animals to keep is because, especially in young animals that don't have any progeny, you don't really know how they're going to perform in your herd. And so any type of genomic testing gives you a good idea of how that animal will actually perform based on the genes that it has. And so it's a great culling tool, especially for young animals, because it's a much more accurate way to make those decisions than just on raw phenotypic data. The reason that the AGA felt it was really important to offer a commercial selection tool to our producers is because we know that commercial producers make up the bulk of the industry, and it's really important for us to get DNA information even on those commercial animals because they're the largest portion of the cow herd. So we thought it was important, one, to create the maternal edge selection profile so that commercial producers could more easily select their replacement heifers, and 2, because any information that's gleaned from that maternal edge profile goes into our larger MBV database, so it gives us a chance to make our genomic enhanced DPDs more accurate.
Everybody that I've got the chance to speak to as well, and what we've seen in our market research, is there definitely is a learning desire for the technology and what it can bring to the table. Probably the first question you always get is, does this stuff work? And the answer is always yes. It's the essence of life. It's the DNA. There's no bias in the DNA.
With the DNA, you can't lie. It's what it is. So by collecting DNA, we can track it back to the herd sires and hopefully back to the cows, and maybe Well, and I'll give you one example. Two things that we learned when we started collecting DNA is we learned that we had a dominance issue in our herd sires, more so than I ever really dreamed. I had herd sires that were siring 1 to 2 and herd sires that were siring up to 65 calves. So if you have a herd sire that's siring 65 calves, you know, you can probably spend a lot of money for him, or at least his progeny, versus the other ones. Now, the interesting thing is will that dominance issue continue? I was really surprised. And that dominance is a huge issue. I had 2 herds that had 120 pairs in each group, and I had 1 bull siring half those calves out of that herd.
A maternal edge results page comes back to a producer. What I suggest is they decide which of the traits or which couple of the traits are more important to them. So if calving ease and weaning weight are the most important to them because they're looking for replacement heifers and they're always going to sell their calves at weaning, then I would suggest that they try and stay, you know, in the top 1 to 5 of those traits, and then try and stay in the guardrails of the others. So stay around that 5, the 50th percentile, but then try and select more heavily on the traits that are important to you.
We developed the Identity Production Index to kind of be an overall strong maternal, good heifer kind of scoring system. But we also have built in the capability that individual ranchers can take and create their own index. And so if they want to tweak that a little bit or take their own things that are more important to their ranch, we can help them develop that index. And so whenever they get the results back, they'll have their traits, but they'll also have their score on their production index and how they want to make their decisions. That's the first question we'd like to start with is what's your goal for your herd? Where do you see some weaknesses or things you can strengthen? And we try to work from that point of view because, as we well know, you can have 2 places with 500 head next to each other, and that's about the only thing they have in common. They're going to have different calving intervals, you're going to have different nutritional plans, you're going to have different production goals and resources, and so we try to start with what your goals and where you think you can improve in your herd, and then we go from there.
The maternal edge profile costs $26 a head. The way that a producer would order the maternal edge profile is to go online at www.gelbvieh.org and download the commercial DNA order form. On there, you would put your animal's information and their barcode number on the back of their sample tag, and then you would select that you wanted the maternal edge profile. You would send both that and your samples straight to GeneSeek in Nebraska after first emailing Kim, Rounds, or myself a copy of the order form. The sample type that you could submit for the maternal edge panel is either blood or hair or even tissue, as in an Allflex tag or a Typifix tag. Any of those samples are accepted by the lab.
You know, we had a conversation today when somebody says, well, man, prices are really soft. You guys must be hurting on your testing. And I said, exact opposite. I mean, every decision you make now is even more important. So the more information you can have about that heifer or that bull, the better off you're going to be. And so we've actually seen some increase in our testing now, even when prices are somewhat down, because all that information makes, you know, it's much more valuable now. If you're going to buy 100 heifers, you want to get the best 100 heifers you can get. So spending that little bit of money up front certainly helps pay itself off in the end.
You're watching The American Rancher. Stay with us.
We started using Gelbvieh to build a cow herd with for their maternal performance. Traits that are important to us are calving ease with adequate performance and strong carcass quality. Warner beef is comprised of myself and my wife Kate, and then we work closely with my parents Monty and Christy Warner and my brother Darren and Amy. We encourage people to stop by. Visitors are always welcome. We can be contacted at the ranch office or found at warnerbeef.com.
Welcome to Flying Ace Genetics, Missouri, where we'll offer fescue-adapted, grown-on-grass bulls that are athletic, muscular, and ready to work on October 22nd. We offer Angus, Red Angus, Gelbvieh Simmental, and Hereford genetics, allowing you to utilize heterosis, adding over $100 profit per cow exposed by capturing more pounds to sell and carcass premiums. Go to flyingacegenetics.com to check us out and view videos of the bull to find out why Flying Ace Genetics fescue adapted grown on grass bulls are better.
Saddle up and hit the trail to Lincoln, Nebraska to attend the Cattlemens Prophet Roundup on Thursday, December 1st. Come and learn from beef industry leaders from Cattle Facts and the University of Nebraska-Lincoln on what it takes for your cattle to meet the modern beef industry's demands. Join the American Gelbvieh Association and commercial producers from around the Midwest for this free event at the Lincoln Marriott Cornhusker Hotel in downtown Lincoln at 1 p.m. on December 1st. Visit gelbvieh.org for more information.
Welcome back to the American Rancher. In addition to DNA testing, the American Gelbvieh Association also offers commercial cattle producers a way to track their herd's performance and make more data-driven management decisions. Smart Select Service is a data management service that delivers genetic tools for ranchers.
Here at the American Gelbvieh Association, we strongly believe in providing the tools and services for commercial cattle producers to be successful. And if they're not successful, then our members are not successful. So in light of that, Smart Select Service was developed. Smart Select Service allows commercial cattle producers to meet the modern industry demands. And today, that means data collection and knowing more about your cattle. Commercial cattle producers are able to make smart breeding and management decisions with Smart Select Service by utilizing the genetic tools and the herd reports available from the program. The genetic tools allow producers to select animals that will excel not only in the feed yard but also to be productive in the pasture and home.
We want mama cows that work on grass to produce big steer calves that work when we send them to the yard. The key is tracking those females throughout their lifetime. Understanding that the genetic trends are moving all the time and making sure that we're always looking at this year's data versus last year's data versus next year's data, and we're moving that ball forward. And if that means resorting cows, that's just part of the business. But optimum matings will get you to where you want to be in terms of goals as long as you stay focused and don't get off the path.
Smart Select Service was designed to be a service for the commercial cattle producer.
Well, I think you need to have a program like Smart Select to make it easier for the owner-operator to understand. Let those people manage the data for you. And there's certain relationships, there's certain things that happen with data that if I do it and the next person does it, we might not read it the same. So I think that's why you got to have a central base like Smart Select or American Gelbvieh or whoever, understanding that data and bringing it back to you.
We wanted to make sure that this was a feasible investment for commercial producers, and so therefore it's only $1 per head to enroll each cow. Enrolling a cow in Smart Select is very simple. All you need is 3 things. 1, you need a permanent ID for that animal. 2, you need the possible parentage. And 3, you need the estimated birth date. We cannot control the price of cattle, but we can control our inputs and manage our profit margins as efficiently as we can. And that's where a program like Smart Select Service comes into play. In a downturn market like we've seen recently with lower cattle prices, it's important to utilize the technology available to manage your cattle as efficiently as you can, whether that be through DNA testing, keeping more accurate records on your animals. It is important to know as much as you can to make those efficient and sound breeding decisions to help take your operation to the next level. We also recognize that a commercial herd is not breed specific. There are multiple breeds involved in an operation. So Smart Select Service is available for any breed of cattle.
Whether commercial or seed stock, it's just a next level of knowledge and the better decisions that can be made. When prices are high, decisions are important. When prices are low, decisions are even more important, I think. And so just that next level of information that's available to take advantage of those tools that are there. And so every decision you make needs to be the best one possible. And we think we help bring that to the next level.
I think that genomic data has really revolutionized the beef industry as a whole, and we've seen it do similar things, especially in dairy and even poultry and pork. And I think it's really here to stay, even more so now as a selection tool. People are starting to test their entire herds and then use that as information to decide what animals to keep and what animals to cull. And I really think that that's the direction that we're headed in the industry. industry, having information on almost every animal in the herd that's genomic to pair with the very important phenotypes on those animals, like birth weight or weaning weight, to give us much more information on how we should be selecting those animals.
The Gelbvieh and Balancer cow is the female of the future. With available tools like DNA technology and Smart Select service, combined with reputable maternal traits and the profitability of Gelbvieh and Balancer genetics, utilizing these females helps producers meet today's modern industry demands. For more information on Gelbvieh and Balancer genetics and the programs the American Gelbvieh Association has to offer, please visit gelbvieh.org or call the office at 303-465-2333. That's all the time we have today. To find out more about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook. I'm Pam Minnick. For the entire American Rancher team, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.